Hey guys, we are doing the study guide. So if you have questions on the study guide, I have the answers. Here we go. Study guide. Okay, well, questions 1 through 6 are naming angles. Okay? I'm just going to do one of these with you guys because if you guys don't get this, we in trouble. Use 3 letters to name angle 1. Whoa. Answer angle 1, we're going to use the 3 letters. Now notice C is where angle 1 is. So C has to go in the middle of the 3 letters. And then the 2 that shoot off of it make the legs. So it should be ACB, or you could have written, again, C is the vertex part. So that always has to go in the middle. It could have been BCA. So that was 1 through 6. So there we go. We've already got through 1 through 6. Done. Number 7, it says the base angles of the isosceles triangles. Okay. Again, I don't have the pictures up here because you have it on your thing, so make sure it's out right now. You should only be going over this if you've already done the study guide. The base angles of the isosceles triangle. Well, the isosceles triangle is the triangle ACB. So the base angles are actually angles 1 and 2. And we'd label angle 1, so as what we did above, ACB. And the other angle is going to be angle ABC. Okay, so 1 and 2 would have been sufficient, but asked to use 3 letters. Question 8 asks me to go ahead and define the legs of the right triangle, and so the legs are going to be AD and DB. The third leg, the third part, AB, is the hypotenuse. All right. Numbers 9 through 12 are asking you to find opposite pieces. I'll just do number 9 and then you guys can hopefully figure out the rest. But for triangle ABC, name the side opposite ACB. The side opposite ACB would be AB. Okay? So that takes you all the way through question 12. All right? And moving on, I don't know, we're flying through these. 13. 13 says name the median of ABC. Well, median goes through the vertex, cuts the opposite side, so the median is going to be CT. 14, name the altitude is going to be SR. The altitude here of BRC, so if we look at the smaller triangle, BRC, the altitude is SR or RS. It has to go through the vertex of R, and it is perpendicular to the base BC. And 15, last but not least, name an angle bisector of TBC, and the angle bisector would be BX. It goes through the vertex and cuts that angle in half. Okay? Alright, well, let's move on. Number 16 we did in class, but essentially what we have is, I'm going to just sketch the picture real quick, just so I can show, but we have BR is right here, okay, and the angle it gives us is 6x minus 30, so that angle is right here, so 6x minus 30, and if this is an altitude, that means that's 90 degrees, so we get 6x minus 30 equals 90. Okay, we want to go ahead and solve that, add the 30 over, and we get 6x equals 120, so x is going to go ahead, and when we divide that in, we get 20. Number 17, we're doing a similar thing, but we're finding the value of x of BR as a median, so that means, in my picture, this is going to break into 2 equal halves, which this part is 2x plus 20, and this is 5x plus 5. So we just set them to equal to each other. So 2x plus 20, because those 2 segments are equal to each other because of the median, and 5x plus 5. And we'll go ahead and subtract 2x and subtract the 5. We get 15 equals 3x, so x equals 5. All right. Again, kind of flying through this. This is mostly for you to just check your answers more than anything. 18, we're going to set these two equal to each other because of the perpendicular bisector theorem. So we get 10x So this is question number 18. 10x minus 3 equals 3x plus 39. Okay, go ahead and subtract 3x and add the 3 to this side. We get 42 equals 7x. And then we just have to divide by 7. And when we divide by 7, we end up with x equals 6. That's not what I'm supposed to find. I'm supposed to plug it back in for SR. SR is 3 times 6 plus 39. I don't know why I put in those parentheses, but we do 3 times 6, which is 18. 18 plus 39 is going to give me 57. So SR is equal to 57. 19, I think we did this in class for most people, but we're going to set these two angles equal to each other. They are congruent, we know, because, well, one, MP is an angle bisector. They're equidistant from the endpoints, PN and LP. And we can also prove that these two triangles are congruent by HL. And if they're congruent, then they're going to be, corresponding parts are going to be congruent. So we get 4x plus 2 equals 7x minus 37. We're going to go ahead and move things around. We get 39 equals 3x. So x is going to equal 13. That's not what I'm looking for. I got to plug it back in. I get 4 times 13 plus 2. That's going to give me 54 degrees. And I'm looking for LMN. Notice LMN is made up of 54 and 54, so I have to actually add them two together, and I actually get 108. I went a little fast on those because we went over those ones in class. 20, we did this one in class too, so let's just go ahead and write the answers down real quick. 20A, it's going to be 5 plus 2 is bigger than 10. Is that true? No, so not a triangle. B, we get two smaller sides add up to be bigger than the third side. Is this true? Yes. So we do have a triangle. And C, 7 plus 24. Whoops, that's not 24. 7 plus 24 is bigger than 31. Well, that ends up actually being 31 bigger than 31, which is not true, so not a triangle. 21, we get A. If I'm given 3 and 48, I basically just add them to get this number, so that's going to be 51. And then I subtract them to get this number, which is 45. And if we check it, it's going to work out, right? 3 plus 45 is equal to 48, so x has to be bigger than 45. And then 3 plus 48 equals 51, which means x has to be less than. So we just basically add them. The next one's 11 and 24. So we're going to get, so this is our answer, by the way. So this, we're going to add them together, and we get 35. And when we subtract them, we're going to get 13. And as long as 11 plus 13 is 24, that means it has to be bigger. And 11 plus 24 is 35, that means x has to be smaller. 22, you got to check each one to see if it works. Check all possible values for the third side. Well, I'm going to actually do this a lot faster than checking each one. I'm actually going to use this one to go ahead and put it into my little equation, and then I can quickly see which one's going to work. So this is 22. So I have 19 and 34. So I didn't mean to do a plus sign there. So just get rid of that. But I'm just going to put it into my little equation here. So I'm going to add the two together, and when I add the two together, I should get 53. And when I subtract them from each other, I should get 15. Okay, so what are my answers? X has to be bigger than 15, but less than 53. So A, 13. Nope, not bigger than 15. B, 15. X has to be bigger than 15. That doesn't work. C, 21. Does that fit? Yes. D, 38. Does that fit? Yes. That's not bigger than 53. E, 52. 52 works. And F, 59. 59 is too big. X has to be less than that, so that doesn't work. So those are my three answers: C, D, and E. Give the angle measure in order from least to greatest. So in my triangle here we have 13, 9, and 8. We have B and C and D. This is question number 23. We want to go from least to greatest. So from least to greatest. Whoops. Okay, so the smallest is going to be the smallest side. So the smallest side is 8. So the smallest angle is going to be across from it, which is angle D. Notice it's directly across. Okay, and then 9, so it's going to go to C, and then to the last one, the biggest, which is B. And then we have one very similar to this on question 24. And so when we look at question 24, we'll do that one right here. I'm trying to fly through these as fast as I can. We got L, M, and K, and we got 64 and 57. To find my other angle, I need to add these two together, plus x, and set it equal to 180. Okay, and if I do that, I'm just going to do the math off screen real quick with my calculator, and I find the last angle to be 59 degrees. So which side's the largest, or sorry, least? So we're going from least to greatest. Well, 57 is the smallest, so KM is my smallest side because it's across from 57. Then it's LM across from the 59. And then last but not least, it is 64 degrees, which is across from KL. Okay. Number 25 and 26, we're doing the exact same thing. We just need to go ahead and solve for them. Let's just make sure that we're going to have time to get through all of these. Yeah, we do. Okay. So 25, we'll go ahead and I'll just going to go ahead and share the answers because I did a lot of these in class. And I can go over them as well on the day of the actual test. So the answers to questions number 25 and 26. 1 second. I had it right here. 25, we're going to get FH, and then FG, and then GH. Okay, so that's order in least to greatest. And then 1 second.